Hello everyone! Welcome to Storytime with the Princess. Today we're going to be reading from Disney's Christmas Storybook, and the story is called Ariel's Christmas Under the Sea. Ever since I had first gone to the water's surface, I could do little but dream of life on land. Night after night, despite my father King Triton's command, I swam to the surface to gaze at the beautiful palace shining in the clear moonlight. I was followed by my friend Flounder and trailed by Sebastian the Crab, who had been instructed by my father to look after me. One winter evening, I turned to my friend, my eyes bright. "Look, Flounder, what are all those lights lining the hill? They glow like stars, but they're so close to earth." Flounder's large eyes grew even bigger as he gazed landward. They seemed to be coming from the castle. Each evening at sunset, Flounder and I returned to our favorite cove to watch the lights go on. Each night, the castle grew brighter. Then, not only the castle, but the castle grounds twinkled in the night, like the Milky Way. One night as we watched, Scuttle the gull landed on our rock. "I see you're watching the full tide," he said. I was delighted to see Scuttle. He was an expert on human life, or at least he said he was. Full tide. When the foolish humans greet each other with glad tidings. It's also known as the Holly Days, because they deck the halls with holly. But what are those twinkling lights? People light candles to welcome the season. Too bad you can't take a peek inside the castle windows. Scuttle went on to describe the enormous decorative tree that stood in the great hall of the castle, the long tables piled high with roasts and puddings. He told how, as tokens of their love, humans bestowed gifts on one another, scattering bright wrappings everywhere, and shouting, "Merry Christmas!" "Ah, yes," said Scuttle, "the holidays are something to behold." I'd listened in rapture. How I would love to be included in the festivities. I dreamed of taking part in decorating and singing, dancing, eating, and exchanging of gifts. But none of this could happen unless I was a human. Followed by Flounder, I went back sadly to my father's kingdom. "I don't want to see the castle lights anymore," I told Flounder. "I can never share the humans' holidays." Flounder hated to see me unhappy. He rattled his little brain and finally ventured, "We can make our own celebration." I brightened. "Why not? We could decorate the great hall, and I can look for gifts for my sisters, and for Daddy, of course. When he finds out about the holidays, maybe he'll realize that humans are not such barbarians." The days that followed were exhausting. Flounder, Sebastian, and I searched far and wide for the most beautiful seashells, sea stars, and water plants we could find. After decking the great hall, Flounder and I shaped a large tree from deep green strands of seaweed and hung on its limbs colored glass made from bottles. And now for candles. I searched my grotto, where I kept my souvenirs from shipwrecks. The candlesticks were there, but the candles had all floated to the surface. I pleaded with Scuttle. "Please, can you find some candles? They're the best part." "No problem. I think I can borrow a few." Along the shore near the mouth of the river, I found some magnificent moonstones, pebbles washed from the waves of the sea. Aha! I gathered up the stones. They would make the perfect gift for my family, a gift that would help them understand how I felt. Meanwhile, each day, Flounder swam up and down the shore, searching for a gift for me, one that would remind me of the land that I loved. One day, he saw a young man pacing along the beach, looking sad and lonely. As this man turned, a button fell from his shirt, a crystal button that shone in the sand. When the tides came in, Flounder retrieved the button. He wrapped it in seaweed and then tied it with a narrow ribbon. The holiday eve came at last. My heart swelled with excitement as I wrapped the gifts for my family in the petals of an anemone. After Flounder and I had fixed Scuttle's candles onto the tree, I blew through a large shell to summon my father, King Triton, and my sisters. "I have a surprise for you." My family started at the festival hall and at the tree, and they wondered, "What under the sea is this?" my sisters exclaimed. "You mean what on earth?" I bubbled. "This is Christmas," I said proudly, "the way humans celebrate." "It is splendid," they agreed, even King Triton. "But just wait, here's the best part. I struck a flint to the candles. Nothing happened, for of course, candles cannot burn under water. I struck and struck again, and my eyes filled with tears, although tears also can't flow under water. It's all ruined. We worked so hard, and now my Christmas is a fizzle. Not so, my dear daughter. Though you cannot make candles burn as they do on land, you put your heart into this surprise, and that's what makes it so special. He took his trident and aimed it at the tree. The candles glowed with a magical light. There, is that better? From then on, the evening was filled with a magical spirit. Trident ordered up a grand feast accompanied by musicians. When I presented my gifts with happy holidays, my family was overwhelmed. My sisters held out their gleaming moonstones. Where did you find these lovely gems? And I explained how they were fashioned by both earth and sea, working together as one. I looked up at my father, who merely smiled and nodded. He had understood the message of the moonstone. Toward the end of the celebration, Flounder drew me aside. I have something for you. Merry Christmas! He told me how he had found the gift of the crystal, laced the ribbon through the button, and hung it around my neck. The crystal rested near my heart. When I held the bubble up to look at it, the crystal sparkled like starlight, like the lights that twinkled from the palace. As I gazed at the light, I felt in my heart the glow of hope, and suddenly I knew the meaning of the candles in the light.